Happy Monday. Nope, Tuesday. Today's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everybody. It's Andy Kennedy here with the Toxic Truth 60-Day Challenge. And today is day 16, I believe. And we are on the body, which is our epidermis and our shell, our exterior, etc. And I'm really excited to talk to you about today's topic because as you can see, as you've been seeing all along, I don't wear a ton of makeup. But in my previous life, I wore makeup to events and such when I hosted events through the Sustainability Council in Steamboat and through other, public things that we used to do more of. And I still gussy myself up every now and then. And the product that I use and have been using for a really long time is called Bare Minerals. And it's based on minerals. It's all natural. It's plant-based. I haven't gone down the rabbit hole lately on how the company's been over the last 3 years, because of course we know things like that can change. But I did do a deep dive on EWG, as I've been saying all along. This is my resource of choice. They have a certification on the EWG website, which is Environmental Working Group, ewg.org. And their skin deep certification is pretty rigorous. So it's got, already a list. You've got a list by going there of products that are clean and clear of toxins, which is super helpful. So I'm going to read a couple of names that pop out at me that I've heard and know people that I know use. Honest Beauty is one of them. Maya's Mineral Galaxy Beauty Counter. Let's see if I see any more that I've recognized. But some of these companies, I'm scrolling through a long list. So there are more that I'm scrolling through. But what I love about it is they give you a hazard score. So a whole hazard score of product toxicity and their ingredient list. So Well People is another one that I've heard of. Rejuva keeps coming up. So that must be new because they're coming up quite a bit. I saw one that I was excited about. Let me go back a page here because, people, there it is, Supernatural. So I have heard of Supernatural a couple of, over the last couple of years as well. Vegan Glow. So you also could look for vegan based. That doesn't always mean chemical free though. So, what this whole Toxic Truth Challenge is cutting out chemicals where we, are maybe hidden chemicals in our both food and body and home systems. And that's what I'm talking about over the next 60 days and the previous 2 weeks here. And focusing on your skin over the next 2 weeks is super important, like cutting out the toxin, because that's the largest organism in our body that's receiving information and chemicals and trying to flush those chemicals. And what I was talking about yesterday in our 15th day was about, why we get things like acne and rashes and eczema and psoriasis and other skin-related diseases or disorders, I should say. I mean, the word disease comes from the body not being in ease, in its natural homeostasis state, right? So it's important to look at some of these. And so if you're not in our Facebook group, hop over to the Facebook group and join. The link is always below these videos because then you're going to get extra resources. So you'll get that EWG resource list that I just mentioned, the Skin Deep resource that I mentioned, and be able to kind of do your own research on what are you looking for? Are you looking for just straight chemical free? Or are you looking for chemical free and vegan? Because of course, no testing on animals is important to most of us, right? So that's about skincare. Another one that I wanted to bring up that I use in addition to makeup, I focus on really clear, clean ingredients in my lotions as well. And I love Alba. I love all of the ones that are really just based on natural coconut milk, coconut oil, sometimes avocado oil. So look, again, go back and read the label there. I think Whole Foods brand 365 is pretty good. It has a couple of things in it that I wouldn't necessarily choose. Like I mentioned, alcohol and parfum yesterday. I'm going to go down the rabbit hole on parfum in a few extra days. Fragrance, any fragrances are going to disrupt your system too. So be careful of that. Oh, always open things up and smell it. If you can smell something that doesn't smell natural, um, be wary of that. And then the shelf life of these, right? So if you're talking about a completely natural ingredient list, the shelf life, I've had makeup from Bare Minerals for a really long time. And I think that paying attention to, those expiration dates for a natural ingredient is super important because, it's maybe going to start collecting mold, or anything that doesn't have parabens in it is going to probably expire sooner than later. And so recycling that, putting it in the compost bin because you can, and maybe using those tins for something else, recycling them, upcycling them, and then purchasing something new that's got a different expiration, a longer out expiration date. Trying to think of anything else that I had on my list that I wanted to share today, but that's the basics for me on makeup. Reading the ingredients as always, going to EWG as a resource. You can go to the EWG website right in the store, scan the label, and it'll check it for you right there on the spot and give you a rating score of toxicity, which I love. The other thing I wanted to say is when I lived in Colorado, I really did trust the natural grocers store. So our local store in Steamboat has an amazing buyer. Shout out to Courtney, if she's still there. I haven't been there in a year, but I'll be heading back there next week. And anything that's in that store, I feel like in the makeup section, I feel like they've done their due diligence, or the whole HABA section, the health and body section. So, talk to that person, talk to the buyer that's there in the store, whatever store that you like to frequent, whether that's a natural grocers or Whole Foods or any of your other local cooperative natural food stores, right? So, talking to that person that's buying for them and what their parameters are for buying, or finding a local, supporting a local home business, network marketing business like Beauty Counter or any of the others out there that have some makeup, talking to them and seeing what their buying parameters are. So that's my toxic truth today on makeup. I hope you got some value out of that and that you'll keep watching. Share with a friend if this resonates with you, and join the Facebook group if you haven't already. And happy Tuesday, and we'll see you tomorrow.